Welcome back to the Thompson Resume Writing Company YouTube channel. I am Tamika Thompson and I am the owner and lead resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company. And for this video, I'm going to be answering a common question that I get asked a lot from people who are looking for a new job, and that is, should I or do I have to tell my boss or my manager that I am looking for a new job? Now, there are pros and cons to being honest and transparent with your boss or your manager and letting them know that you're on the hunt for a new position outside of the company and that you may be giving your 2 weeks notice, and we're going to discuss both of them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First and foremost, the answer to this question straight up is no. You are not obligated to tell your boss or your manager or anybody at your job that you are looking for a new job, that you have accepted a new job. You honestly don't even have to give a 2 weeks notice unless you want to. I say this all the time in my videos that companies do not give us a heads up most times, majority of the times, when they lay us off, fire us. Some people don't even get a notice when the company goes bankrupt and when the company shuts down. And I feel like that goes both ways. So on the employee side, you are also not obligated to let your employer or your job know that you have either accepted a new position and that you'll be moving on, or that you are looking for a new position. The only stipulation to this is if when you signed your employment contract, so when you accepted the job, if there's anything in the offer letter or anything in the fine print of your employment contract that you must disclose this, then you have to. But if that's not included in any of those materials, you can simply chuck up the deuces and leave, and you don't have to tell anybody anything, nor do you have to let them know that you're in the process of trying to get the up out of there. Now let's go ahead and discuss the pros of why you would want to tell your manager, or some reasons why you would want to tell your manager that you're looking for a new job. Number one is if you have a really good, solid, standing working relationship with your boss. Maybe you two get along very well, perhaps you're even friends outside of work, or you have just, again, a really strong relationship and you feel safe enough and comfortable enough to open up to this person, and you trust them enough to give them this information. Another reason to disclose this is maybe you don't want your boss to feel blindsided. So again, maybe you all are friends and you all have a really good working relationship, a trusting relationship. Maybe they have disclosed some past information to you to give you a heads up, and you would like to possibly or potentially return the favor. You don't want them to, again, feel blindsided and feel like it's coming out of the blue, especially if you leaving is going to cause some type of impact to them or any type of blowback on them. Then yes, go ahead and let them know. Spinning off of those two first points is if leaving them is going to put them in a bit of a bind and you actually care about it. So maybe once you leave, all of your work is going to just come piling down on them, and you want to give them a heads up and you want them to be prepared, you can let them know. And then last is if you think that they are going to find out anyway. Maybe your industry is really small, and this has happened to a client that I've worked with in the past. She worked in a really niche industry where everybody knew everybody, and she ended up telling her boss that she was looking for a new job just to be transparent, because she didn't want her boss to hear it from somebody else that she was interviewing with a competing company and that she would probably be receiving an offer and that she would be departing the company. So those are a few reasons why you would want to let your boss know. Now let's go ahead and discuss some reasons why you may want to keep this information to yourself. So number one is if you fear retaliation, or you think there's going to be some sort of a consequence for disclosing this information or being transparent. And I did discuss this in a previous video where I talked about how I gave my 2 weeks notice and I called myself trying to take the professional route, and then the company responded by firing me like that day. So if you feel like there's going to be retaliation in any way, shape, or form, which can include getting fired or termination or maybe something nasty or just not so good, you can choose to keep that information to yourself, especially if a final paycheck or a final payout or something of that sort is at risk. Another reason is if you do not trust them and you feel like they may tell other people. Now, I made this mistake in the past with one position that I was leaving. Before I officially gave my 2 weeks notice, I ended up telling someone who worked there, a coworker who at the time was a friend, and they ended up telling like 2 other people, and somehow word got to my manager before I was able to let them know, and that she was was not happy about that, because while we did have a good relationship, she did have a history of handling people leaving the company in a not so good way. So if you feel like that your boss is going to tell other people or spread the word, so to speak, that's another reason to just keep it to yourself. You don't want anybody slandering you around the office or out here in these streets. Another reason that you may not want to disclose this is if you feel like you are going to receive any unfair treatment or mistreatment while you are still there. And maybe this goes back to that fear or retaliation point that I just listed. But if you feel like once you let your boss know that you're looking for a new job, or you may be leaving the company within the next couple of months, and you think that maybe they're going to be rude to you or dump a bunch of stuff on you, or maybe withdraw you from projects, or no longer put your name in the hat, or any petty stuff like that, then you don't have to tell them. And this is a very real thing that people do experience in the workforce, where again they call themselves being transparent and honest and saying, hey, I'm on the hunt for something new and I may be leaving soon. I'm just kind of putting some feelers out there, or I'm really adamant about getting out of this company. And then before they officially leave, they're going through all types of crazy stuff, and maybe the job all of a sudden just becomes super duper toxic. I don't want you to experience that. So again, that's another reason to keep it to yourself. And then last but not least is because you simply want to keep it private. Again, this is private information and you are not at liberty and you are not obligated to disclose it if you don't want to. If you want to keep it to yourself and continue to move in silence, then you may do so. I have done this many times. There have been several times where I've left a job and no one knew. I never said anything. Sometimes I didn't even put in a 2 weeks, and that was like in my late teens, early 20s, y'all. I would just up and leave a job and not give a care. No one would know. I would just be up and out. So I hope that this answered this question for you, especially if this is a question that you have as you are currently searching for a new job. So maybe you have already lined up some interviews and things are looking really well, or maybe in your head you already know, hey, in the next couple of months, I know I want to be out of here by the end of the year and I'm going to start getting my resume together so that I can begin my job search. And you're thinking like, hey, do I have to tell my boss this information? I hope this provided some clarity on that for you. If you like this video, if you learned something from it, if you found it helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you have any additional questions related to the topic in this video that I did not answer, feel free to go ahead and drop a comment down below. If there's something new that you learned and that you would like to share, go ahead and drop a comment down below as well. If you need assistance with your resume for your upcoming job search, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me directly at hello@thompsonresumes.com. You can also visit my website at www.thompsonresumes.com. If you want to receive more career-related content and resume tips from me, you can also follow me on social media. My LinkedIn profile name is Tamika Thompson. My Instagram handle name is @_Mika Thompson. And I do have an email list that you can subscribe to by clicking the link in the description box down below. If you're watching this video and you found it helpful, but you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can join my growing YouTube community. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next time with another video. Bye!